So yesterday, I get alerted on my phone. This is real shit. I get alerted on my phone. Brax just tweeted. Love this guy, by the way. He tweets out, I'm not sure if you saw this yet. He tweets out, just woke up to terrible news. '07 HSR, it's been good, man. With 1.3 thousand likes. I swear they're allergic to making good decisions. I'm about to become Kendrick to HSR's Drake. He doesn't clarify what the hell he's talking about. He doesn't clarify at all. The comments are just like, Brax, what are you talking about? Brax, what are you talking about? What's wrong? What did HSR do? And I want to make this very clear. HSR is Brax's favorite game. It is. He loves it. He talks about it nonstop. So when Brax is worried, I get very worried. Same thing with me. I feel like I'm very fair for the critiques that I give. And he puts out a tweet later, which is, are you kidding? 24% true damage E1. I have no idea what the hell this meant. And then he puts, Gwobus certified graphic goes crazy. This is way better than Robin or Ruan May E1. E1, this is the missing graphic, E1 Tribbie. This is about Tribbie, the new unit. 24% overall damage increase, but it's also piled onto the highest HP enemy. So you get a 120% damage increase in this single target hit. But remember, not all attacks are the same damage distribution. Likewise, and all enemies dying equals E1 drops in power. So I'm not sure exactly the magnitude of how strong E1 Tribbie is going to be. But here's the thing, guys. Before you get excited and say, oh, that means she's a must pull, I want to let you know, with HSR's track record, as one unit gets incredibly stronger than everything else, so too do all the enemies, and so do all of the pre-existing units get weaker. I do not know how they decided to let this go live when they just said that the power creep is a huge issue. They're going to buff old units. And then they released the most broken support in the game. And even more so, they made sure to pay gate it behind a fucking Eidolon. I know people were already on the fence on pulling a child, but pulling two children? I don't know, man. Let's see what she can do.
Unfortunately, the time has come and we have to talk about the child in the room. Listen, guys, I'm in Japan right now, and to be honest, I don't really want to be working, but I didn't want to miss a chance to talk about Tribbie because, well, unfortunately, they made another broken child character, and now you have to play a child on your team. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. Is it really like that? It's really like that, huh? It's really like that?
Every time they make a kid character that has pluses for their eyes, they tend to be broken for some reason. Everyone's been doom posting this character, and for some reason, other people have been believing it. I don't know why you guys are believing it, and I'll tell you why in just a second, but first you should know that this is on the Creator Experience server for version 2.1. This version will include a...
Copers will say, well, maybe they'll just nerf it before it goes live. Maybe there's hope. Maybe they'll just take her E1 and put it into her base kit. Bro, her E1 should have been an E6. They did nerf her 3 times? This is her after being nerfed 3 times? How do you fuck up a nerf? Just press make not as good. How is it that hard?
Tribbie and Mide, but first we're just going to be talking about Tribbie. Everything is subject to change, and I really don't want to re-record this much because I'm on vacation. So we're just going to get right into it. Okay, what makes Tribbie broken? You guys need to understand that this is insane. So you know how like every character has just been getting like a ridiculous amount of buffs? Like Aglaya gets like a chinchillian attack, and the Herda also just gets a ridiculous amount of buffs, and everyone's giving crit and damage percent and attack. Well, the first character that was meant to fix that in the 3.x series was Remembrance Trailblazer because she added a new mechanic called true damage. This is essentially damage exactly as it says it is. Unaffected by modifiers, it's just a percentage of damage dealt.
Yeah, so what true damage does is whatever number it says it's gonna do, it's gonna do. It doesn't matter the resistance of the enemy, it just does it.
Of the original damage that came out. This doesn't have diminishing returns, so you can just kind of spam out attacks with a bunch of extra damage attached to it. It's really great. Well, Tribbie is the next step for that because she adds some stats that are a little more rare. For example, she gives universal resistance penetration.
Wait, so is Tribbie kind of like Thug U is to Harmony MC? Is Tribbie gonna be who's supposed to replace Harmony MC? Or Remembrance MC? Or no? Only at E1. Oh, good. Oh, okay, great. So now I need to pull 2 of them. She's everyone. She's everyone at E1. Well, that makes sense because technically it's 3 characters all in one, so she might as well power creep everybody in the fucking game. All right.
Which means that if the enemy resists you, you can penetrate them. Every enemy has innate resistances based on their elements that they are weak to, but also some bosses have some extra stuff. Well, this lets you essentially ignore that, and since not a lot of characters are giving your entire team res pen, Tribbie's skill is incredibly valuable, as it gives you 24% all-type res pen at level 10. It lasts for 3 turns, and it is only decreasing on every Tribbie turn. Which, funny enough, they just made a relic set that decreases the wearer's speed and gives quantum damage bonus. You'll never guess what element Tribbie is. So basically, you're gonna play this character.
They made another relic set specifically for the new unit that's being released? That way none of the old ones work? That way you have to go back and grind it right now? Wow! Decrease speed. Decrease speed is crazy. Bro, I already hated this shit enough when they did that for Brant. Now we gotta, dude, that's one of the things I hate the most. Like, dude, why can't devs just make sets that aren't just specifically, this one's for Brant, this one's for Tribbie? Just make universal sets that you can use on multiple units and you're fine once you get it. Stop with this whole hyper niche sets. It's so lazy. It's so fucking lazy. Yeah, dude. 10% energy regen increase, but once you get 250, why the fuck would I want 250 energy regen on a unit? Well, there's one that has this hyper-specific use. Oh my god, win set on everyone, easy. Yeah, dude, 100%.
Slow, and you're gonna get a bunch of res pen. But that's not the only thing that Tribbie does, because if it was only this res pen, then honestly she wouldn't be that worth it. Just pull E1 Ron May. No, she has.
Didn't Summoner's War do that shit as well? No, absolutely not. No, in Summoner's War, you would have 4-piece Violent, and what Violent would do is you have a 22% chance to get an extra turn each time you go. Or you would run 4-piece Swift, which would increase your overall speed by 25%, which means guaranteed every 4 turns you get to go again. Then there was other 2 pieces called Will, which would mean that you can't be affected by debuffs for 1 turn. The more that you use it, the more the turns you have shielded. That's pretty much the main ones that you use for PvP and PvE. There was one set, and you farmed it, and you put that shit on everybody. If you want the RNG set, you go this one. If you want the guaranteed set, you go that one. And that's it. This whole shit where it's like farm 1,000 different sets for everybody, this shit's new shit. This is like that new annoying predatory ass shit. I hate this shit. I hate it. Now, it would be cool if it was like, oh, a new universal set that I could use on like these 5 different characters. That would be cool. That's fine. But instead it's like, this one set is only going to be used on this one character. And at that point, it's just like, well, what the fuck? I'm getting flashbacks right now, man. I'm getting flashbacks.
Other value as well. You guys remember Aventurian and how this guy was meant to be like the preservation DPS character that does some damage while he's also preserving your will to live? Yeah, well, Tribbie probably legalized nuclear bombs. Tribbie's talent allows Tribbie to launch follow-up attacks whenever another ally uses their ultimate, and this does a damage based off a percentage of Tribbie's HP. Now, it's actually a decent chunk of HP scaling, and it can do a fair bit. It really does add up, much like how Robin actually adds up a little bit of damage when you're in her ultimate. Tribbie adds up a fair bit of damage as well, once again putting the harm in harmony. Now, this can only be done once per ally before Tribbie ults, so you can use 3 ultimates from your allies and then Tribbie ult and then like 3 ults again, but there's not a lot of characters that could just spam ultimates. There are a few, and you know, those synergies are to be noted, but you're probably not going to think about it too much. Now, after you get the follow-up attack from Tribbie's talent, you also increase that damage dealt by Tribbie by a fair bit, and then of course there's another major trait that makes it so that you gain 30 energy at the start of battle. Wow.
See, you want to know why this scares the fuck out of me? But in the back of my head, I'm still thinking, no, this will be fine. This is fine. Because at least they've said, hey guys, we acknowledge that power creep is a problem. We're going to be fixing this. At least they've said it, right? To where at least we know they're aware of it, right? And this is me coping hard. But back when this shit was happening with Genshin, we never heard shit. They're like, what do you mean, guys? What do you mean? Everything's fine. Like, I'm gonna pray to God they at least do something. But releasing this character as is not it, bro. Absolutely not. Yo, chat, type 1 if you're excited to pull for a child. That's how you get on the FBI watch list. Very cool. Jesus.
Cool. Tribbie also will get energy back after allies attack, so that is pretty cool. But the other value that Tribbie brings is in line with the res pen thing we were talking about earlier, where there's just not a lot of characters that provide that same value, and this is going to be super cool and helpful for basically every single team in the game. With Tribbie's ultimate, she activates a zone, which is the same thing as a field by Locha, but for some reason they decided to rename it. Whenever the zone is up, enemies take 30% more damage at talent level 10. That's not extra 30% damage bonus to your teammates. That is the enemies receive 30% more damage, which is a lot. And then on top of that, you get like the Ting Yun effect, where you basically deal bonus damage as a result of Tribbie whenever you attack and hit an enemy with an ally. On top of that, Tribbie's max HP increases by 9% of the sum of all ally characters' max HP when the zone.
The reason why it's way different that the enemies are receiving 30% more damage is because that takes it out of the equation, right? That takes it out of the equation. And what that does is that's 30% on the final sum rather than 30% of the initial sum, which is fucking huge, right? That's after calc, not during calc. So a normal thing would be like 1.0 times 0.3 times 0.8 times 0.5. And that would give you like 400. But then you take that shit out of the equation and you multiply the end result at 30%, and that 400 becomes like 520, 600. So it's a huge, there's just random fucking numbers. But the point is, the fact that it's after calc is fucking enormous. When you have that many complex buffs going on, it is a huge increase.
Zone is up. Basically, this just is a big buff to Tribbie's personal damage, then you'll definitely notice it. Basic attack is blast, which is cool, I guess, and then her technique makes it so that her skill automatically activates, which saves you a skill point. Anyways, this character is honestly pretty dang simple. All you do is you play her giga slow, and you use the new quantum damage set with the decrease in speed. What it's gonna do is allow you to keep that zone up longer. It only lasts 2 of Tribbie's turns, but if she moves incredibly slow, then you just don't really have to worry about that being an issue. And then you just make sure her skill is up. And
you're wondering, well, how is she going to get energy recharge? Well, she gets energy recharge from other allies. So Tribbie is basically just going to be an alt bot that you spam alt over and over and over and over again because she doesn't need to go to get energy.
Her ultimate is up, and yeah, I mean, it's free. For the build, if you guys are wondering, I'm using the Poet of Morning Collapse. This is the quantum set, the newer one. And on it, I have crit damage on the body, HP on the feet, quantum damage on the planar sphere, and energy.
Like, so essentially, because Tribbie's never going to go, essentially you have 3 people now. Tribbie makes it to where you have 3 units. You no longer have a 4th. You have 3 units, and then you have a fun, shiny button that you can depress every now and then to increase your damage by a fucking billion, right? Because she's never going to fucking go. You'll never have to consider what she's doing. She's literally just she is now a separate entity. She's a lot like Robin, but more interactive. Yeah, absolutely. She's a less interactive Robin, which, by the way, I want you to think about that. Now, the good news is we won't have to listen to Tribbie, Trianne, and Tribbette grab a microphone and sing My Little Fucking, or Over the Rainbow, and ruin all immersion of the fucking game. I'll be real, at this point, my dick ain't big enough to shut Robin up, all right? Because the bitch is still singing. Now, I don't know how there's not a toggle in 2025, but I am so fucking tired of hearing that damn song.
Energy regen on the rope. Now, if you're wondering why I have these equipped, it's because that's what the smart equip equipped, and I honestly don't think her build even matters that much. The only thing that kind of matters is like how often you get her ultimate, so I'm using an ER rope, but even then, like.
What about Astra Yao song? The Astra Yao song I like, for now, but I hope to God this shit changes. The problem, okay, so the thing with Astra Yao song is, it makes sense for combat. It's fast-paced, it's fun, it's fluid. It feels like a combat song. Robin's song is, this is my 3rd grade daughter, and she wants to show you what she's gonna do at the talent show, everybody. So put your hands together for Bobbin. She's gonna sing you her favorite song. Oh my God. I was sitting there irritated as fuck, being like, why am I not liking this combat? I was fighting Nikador. The moment Robin shut her fucking mouth up, and I could hear Nikador's battle song, I was like, oh yeah! And then I was like, oh God, but I really need the extra damage and the action for it. Rise up! Oh my God, fucking kill me, bro. Holy shit.
Like, you'll have her ultimate pretty frequently, considering how much she gains energy. I'm using a 4-star light cone because one of you guys is gonna complain if I don't. She is E0, but E1 is the most broken thing of all time, and I'm really mad about it. Oh, and one other thing you can do is you can also run the wind set, which I have 0 pieces of on the CE server. The wind set gives you action forward whenever you ult, and you can do some cool 0 cycle stuff with that, but I'll talk about that more in the guide. Right now, I'm trying to.
If this guide gets taken down and Braxophone loses his preferred creator status, we're gonna know why. Because bro is just being 100% no cap on a stack for real right now.
Finish this video so I can go out and eat ramen or something. Okay, I've literally never fought this guy before. This is actually my first run doing this, so we're gonna see how it goes. But this should be incredibly easy. I'm just playing a Herta team because why not? There's a ton of different teams you can be playing, but you know, I don't know.
I will say playing Herta does feel higher.
I don't really have any other ways to explain it. So we're gonna buff our Thurda real quick.
I am wondering why Jade feels so bad. Even when I was using her for the Herta's team, she felt fucking terrible. Like, she does, like, no damage at all. Like, she just feels like a waste. Yes, she feels that. Yeah, why does she feel so bad? Because her damage is that. Yeah, why is her damage that bad? You know what I'm saying? You can replace her with Anoxus soon. I got no idea who that is, but thank God. A new 5-star to replace my old 5-star. Thank God.
And I'm gonna try to speak in fluent, coherent sentences, but I'm very tired. It is past midnight my time. Wow, we're gonna use Tribbie's ultimate because that's available to us right now. We can get that zone up, and once the zone is up, ultimate because that's available to us right now. We can get that zone up, and once.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Little edits like that is why Braxophone's guides videos are just better than everybody else's. Like, dude is so diabolically funny, and his timing and knowledge is just goddamn. He's such a good guide maker, bro. I love this guy so much.
The zone is up. Holy cow, are we gonna do a pretty okay amount of damage? And we have Herta's ult, but I'm actually gonna basic attack on Tribbie real quick just to make sure that I can that I can actually use her skill again. And basically what Tribbie's doing is she's allowing us to do 30% more damage, or it's allowing the enemies to take 30% more damage from our attacks, but also on top of that we have res pen, right? So even though Thurda is pretty like saturated with other stuff, I mean, our crit damage isn't like insanely high right now, but we do have pretty high attack, right? Even though our Thurda
226% crit damage isn't high enough. Oh God, guys. Oh God, take me back. Bro, I see 92.6, 226 crit damage. I'm like coming. Oh God. Where are we? Where are we at, bro?
Is pretty saturated with other stats. It just doesn't really matter because we're getting like res pen and stuff. There's not really as big of diminishing returns on something like this as you would see in some other teams, specifically not including Tribbie. Now, with that said, there still is an argument to be made for characters like Robin and even Ruamei, just because they also can provide some pretty solid buffs all around for your team. I'm gonna go and use Tribbie ult again because why not, guys? We get it so fast, it's just not a problem. Okay, I'm gonna link Shaw ult just to get Tribbie's follow-up attack and see if that helps me do enough damage to make sure this wave gets cleared out.
So much
because
energy
I want to see if we can get it this cycle, but if not, I guess I'll blow up or something. Let's see though. Now we got it easily. Not even close. So we're gonna not waste a skill here with Thurda. So we're gonna wait till this guy. Dude, wait, he's so sick. Oh my gosh.
Good news is Tribbie's little background thing is very cute. It makes me feel like I'm in a bedtime nursery carriage, right? And my parents are singing me a lullaby. Look at that, man. They got the little twinkle star effects. I like that.
This guy is literally so cool. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and actually I'm gonna basic attack, yeah, because I don't want to ult and then basic attack right after. That sounds terrible, actually. 76k from Tribbie, like that's actually a pretty decent chunk of damage, and yeah, Tribbie's adding a fair bit on her own. It's definitely notable. It's definitely not like a super negligible amount. Wow, no way! Look at all that damage. So actually,
because the other thing is that people are forgetting is that not only is it like that's like 5 times more than a Link Shaw's damage, but also it's still applying that break, and that's huge. So Quantum is going to get absolutely nuked by Tribbie.
Tribbie's about to run out of her zone, which means that they're going to lose that 30%, but if you look at her energy here, it's only 120. Like, we don't actually have to worry about energy that much of this character at all. So I can even basic attack here and then just use my ult again, because why not? Because we have it so fast for some reason. All right, Thurda, bring us home. That's not gonna bring us home at all, actually. It's not even close. Oh man, all right, we're gonna slap these guys a little bit. We're gonna slap them around.
62k is very sizable.
Oh my God, 813.
Guys, this is E0 with 4-star light cones, by the way. Did you forget that he said that? Because these are all E0 units with 4-star light cones.
You'll get like an actual, like, thorough and accurate and complete review of these characters later when I'm back at home and not trying to relax on an island somewhere. I'm gonna go ahead and just ult with Tribbie again because it does its own damage, an extra 100k, which is pretty cool, pretty cool. We have the skill points to skill ult skill, so we're gonna skill ult skill. Boom, skill ult. And yeah, I mean, it's actually for a Harmony unit, she actually just does a fair bit of damage.
The moon haunts you.
Wait, dude, that animation is actually so sick. Okay, so this puts me in a bit of an awkward position. Yeah, we're not gonna get it this cycle, even though we probably could if I was paying any attention at all. And I can just ult at the Herda because she's down a little bit. So we can just ult right away, it's fine. And then we can re-up the zone because why not? Tribbie's up next, but this guy's gonna die before the zone even expires because Tribbie is so gosh darn slow. Oh, there's a 1 mil for us. That's pretty good. That ain't too bad.
With Tribbie is relatively
okay out here. Okay, and then here's Therda to finish it off. So there you go. That was a 2 cycle, and I wasn't paying any attention at all. So you might be wondering, okay, Brax, why are you so unenthusiastic about this character? Well, the main reason is because
2 cycled MOC 12 with Tribbie when he wasn't paying attention with all 4-star light cones is retarded.
Actually, I'm just tired. That's it. But honestly,
Tribbie's a support? No, Tribbie is everything.
I just didn't really get around to it. That's gonna be something that's way more detailed for the guide video itself, but for now, guys, this is just my first impressions of the character, and mathematically, even without like actually comparing her to Robin right now, I can tell, and you guys should be able to tell as well, 24% res pen and 30% extra damage taken by enemies is pretty dang crazy. And as you can see, even though she's not hitting like 100k by herself consistently, I mean, she is on her ultimate, but even though she's not hitting like a sub DPS or anything, she does a lot of damage for a Harmony character. And I think that's gonna be where a lot of people write her off, is that the damage that she adds doesn't feel as good to me as like Remembrance Trailblazer, just because Remembrance Trailblazer also has action forward and true damage is just such a busted mechanic. But the damage that she's adding personally is also really good on top of the other stuff that you're doing. And she doesn't really have energy issues either. So all in all, Tribbie feels really strong. Now she'd feel even stronger if you got her E1, which gives you 24% true damage added to everything in the game. Yeah, which gives you
while the zone lasts and after ally attacks enemies, additionally deal true damage equal to 24% of the total damage of this attack to targets that have been dealt additional damage by the zone. What the fuck? Read Brack's first couple writes about E1. Oh yeah, E1 stacks on single enemy, but it's 24% per enemy hit. So it's 120% true damage on a single target Lamau. E0, Tribbie, and Robin and Calx are literally neck and neck for damage in cycles according to First Calx. Check guide for more info. So the best part of her kit is locked behind E1. Jesus Christ.
24% true damage added to everything in the game. Yeah, they said, okay, if you pull a second copy of Tribbie, all of your teams do 24% more damage, non-negotiable. I don't know what they're cooking with this. This is too broken. The second, I don't even want to go over these. Listen, E1, more damage. E2, more damage. E3, more damage. E4 is ignore enemy defense, which is more damage. Skill and talent level up on E5, and E6 is, wow, that's a lot.
After Tribbie uses ult, her talent's follow-up attack against all enemies. The damage dealt by talent's follow-up attack increased by 730%. Listen, I'm fine with E6 as being broken. I am. I feel like every character at E6 should be able to obliterate the game. But the E1 having that much power, that is just not a good decision. It's just not.
Damage. This character doesn't really have quality of life issues, so there's not really eidolons geared towards that. There's just eidolons geared towards making your characters deal more damage. Now, I will advise that like Harmony eidolons for certain characters tend to be a little bit stronger. Like if you look at E1 Ron Mei, you actually just get defense ignore, and that makes it so that because Ron Mei is like a super versatile unit, basically every single team you can play Ron Mei on, which is like a lot of the teams, can ignore 20% defense. So it's really strong if you are gonna go for eidolon. Same with Robin Z1. Robin Z1 just turns her into Tribbie. So if you are banking on like low spender dolphining a little bit, E1 of Tribbie is literally just cheating. It's just 24% extra damage, like on everyone. Like it's gonna work on every single team archetype in the game, as long as allies are attacking enemies. So with that in mind, it's pretty dang good. Now I mentioned that Tribbie is like actually pretty useful in most teams, and I wanted to give you guys 2 examples because they're more recent teams. So this is the Herta team that I was showing you guys with Jade. You can run Serval here, obviously, and that's fine. The only issue that I have with this is just Remembrance MC feels so strong with Herta, and honestly, I have a really hard time replacing free-to-play units that feel strong because you get so comfy with them. Like Remembrance MC just feels so cozy to play. But Tribbie is good here, and Tribbie's also good with a Glaya team. Now, the downside of this is that you're definitely gonna want Sunday. I tested this with Remembrance Trailblazer just to like double check and make sure, and you just don't meet the energy thresholds, especially in the new MOC where you're not getting the energy bonus. You really need Sunday if you want this to work, or like E1 Aglaya. Other than that, basically anyone that ults really consistently seems like they would theoretically be good for Tribbie for more follow-up attacks, but even that doesn't matter a ton because the value that Tribbie adds is just universally so good. Like you can literally play Tribbie with like a majority of hypercarry teams and it's just so strong. You can play her in Fart team as a replacement for Robin. Now Robin's action forward there is really strong, but again, I'll do the math for that for my official guide if you guys want to see the details, so make sure to subscribe if you're not already. And anyone that does damage in like a hypercarry position can use Tribbie.
If
like
your team
I'm
does
not joking,
damage,
it's
Tribbie
literally
is good
almost
with
the
them.
entire HSR cast. So would I recommend pulling for this unit? Well, I mean, yeah, she's pretty good. She's just good all around. Yeah, she's good. Guys, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm so tired. I'm going to sleep. Enjoy your child.
So, in case people don't understand why a lot of people were sweating this, is because it feels like HSR is moving to the direction of now 1 copy isn't enough, but they're really trying to force players to pull 2 copies of a character and 1 copy of the weapon. And it's a really scary thing to move towards because when we all first started playing the game, everything was fine at E0, S0. But now it feels like they're making a push towards E1, S1, which should worry you if you care about the game. I guess we'll see, man. Damn, that's pretty fucking rough, man. But it's seeming like almost every support these days is going to want to be E1, S1, and then they're universal broken forever. Jesus.